Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern Ned Reynolds in the studio, halfway point of the week, and the Springfield Cardinals just started their playoff series. Interestingly enough, it begins one game away, and they've got two games coming up tomorrow night and Friday night.
Mm-hmm. Friday night.
But the most important thing here is, did they get that first win?
That they did. It wasn't easy. 3-1. The Cardinals beat the Tulsa Drillers last night down in Tulsa at One Oak Park. Springfield led the game 3-0 going into the ninth inning. Tulsa loaded the bases with one out. Boy, time to start biting your nails there. But somehow Springfield was able to get out of it with a couple of strikeouts and a win 3-1. So that means that a win tomorrow night here in town, and that series is all over. And Springfield will immediately go to the championship round, which would begin Sunday afternoon at Hammons Field. But that's, well, you don't want to put the horse before that barn gate is shut. So, indeed, you might have a third game on Friday. That's if Tulsa wins. But certainly they'll play tomorrow night at Hammons Field. Big win, Springbirds 3, Tulsa 1. Springfield leads the series 1-0.
We'll be giving away tickets again during Jay's show today for the game tomorrow at Hammons Field, and also I've got them today and tomorrow morning during Guitar Hero Worship at Fast Break Sports. So enter 7:45. Now, American Gold back in the World Championships. What sport was it this time?
This is the 110-meter hurdles, and this is really a very interesting story because the guy is a virtual unknown. His name is Cordell Tinch. Nobody had ever heard of him, although he has been running, and he wins the gold medal in the 110-meter high hurdles. Now, what makes it interesting is Tinch has been out of racing for 3 years. He dropped out of college. He said, I'm not going anywhere. Well, he took a number of jobs and then decided, you know what, I really think I should be back in college again and start to run. Well, college, Mike, is our neighbors over here at Pittsburgh State. That's where he goes, Pittsburgh State. He's running Gorilla over in Pittsburgh State, Kansas, and he goes to the World Championships in Tokyo, qualifies for it, and wins the 110-meter high hurdles. So in 2 years, when the Olympics come around again in 2028, watch out for the name Cordell Tinch. He might be very much in the running for American Gold.
Last but not least, the WNBA, their season's still rolling, right?
Well, they're in the final week.
Yeah, okay. So that's why all the accolades are starting to come out. Who got Rookie of the Year?
Rookie of the Year is the young lady for the Dallas Wings, who's really had a magnificent year, including a magnificent career, not just a year. Paige Beckers of the Dallas Wings. In April, she won the national championship with Connecticut, the UConn Huskies of Gino Auriemma. She was a star player on that team. Drafted by Dallas, and she gets Rookie of the Year in the WNBA. Now, the Dallas team isn't very good. They are the Dallas Wings, and they're not really a contender. But Beckers is a really good player, and you'll hear from her as the years go on in the WNBA.
You know, there's still a chance for the St. Louis Cardinals to at least get back to 500, right?
That's right. 500, no, it's fleeting pretty quickly. They did win last night, so yeah, the chances there, and 500 would be really a signal victory because it would mean that they won the rest of their games. But what a painful loss last night that was for the Cincinnati Reds. They're hanging on. They still have a chance at the wild card, but with only 10 games remaining and a little bit more than 2 games out of that wild card berth, and other teams with whom they're vying, including the Giants. Boy, a 3-0 loss to the Cardinals doesn't do them any good at all. Mike McGreevy of the Cardinals was absolutely spectacular. Went 7 innings of shutout baseball, allowed the Cincinnati Ball Club, which is a pretty good offensive team, allowed them only 3 hits and come away with the 3-0 win. Now, those teams play again this afternoon up at Busch Stadium in St. Louis, and this is really critical for the Reds. Every game is critical, and even if they win them all, they might not make it, but still they have to maintain a chance. Cardinals win 3-0.
And the Royals, how they doing? They're at home this week.
This was a signal game up in the Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. The Royals are hosting the Seattle Mariners, and the Mariners are hanging on. They're in the lead in their division, but that lead is very narrow, and if it drops them into the wild card, that advantage is very narrow. But the Mariners, they took it on because they have the big dumper in their lineup.
Oh, yes, they do.
The big dumper is Cal Raleigh, he's something else, folks. He's not a newcomer. He's been around for 3 years now, All-America at Florida State. Last night, he hit 2 home runs, and they were big ones. number 55 on the year, and that breaks the 64-year-old record of Mickey Mantle, most home runs in a single season by a switch hitter. Cal Raleigh bats from both sides, folks, the right and the left hand. Now, what the breakdown is number of home runs. I think he probably has more as a left-hander than right-hander, but nonetheless, this guy catches every day and hits these home runs. He is an absolute mountain back there. He hits number 55, breaks the record. Then he hits number 56, and 56 ties Raleigh with Ken Griffey Jr. for the most home runs by a Seattle Mariners player. 56 home runs. He'll break that because there are 10 more games remaining in the season, and the Mariners won the game 12-4, and they had to win it. They have to keep right on winning and maintain that advantage. I think the Mariners get in the playoffs anyway, but rather than take a chance, they want to win that division. 12-4 Mariners and Cal Raleigh. Cal Raleigh is a candidate for the MVP. He's got to be, although Aaron Judge of the Yankees will probably get it.
I need to get you this guy's number. As much as it pains me to say this as a Royals fan, Seattle kind of has that magic this year.
They're an interesting ball club because they've had the component parts for a number of years and not been able to really put it together at playoff time, and they've been in the playoffs, but they just can't seem to get a cohesive unit going to where they're in the World Series. That's what they want. They want that World Series berth, and boy, the Seattle fans would go nuts. They play at T-Mobile Park in Seattle, which is a beautiful location right there on Puget Sound. But the fact of the matter remains, the team has got to get things together.
Yep, it's interesting to see. It's an exciting time for baseball. Kansas City Chiefs, there's been a lot said in the last 2 weeks about how, due to especially Worthy and Rice being gone, Mahomes doesn't have a lot of weapons. I agree with that, but at the same time, we have really capable athletes in that regard. What's been lacking is the running game.
Running game has been, we talked about it on Monday, that Pacheco and Hunt combined had 53 yards against Philadelphia. The leading rusher's Mahomes. Yeah. He had 66 by himself. Now, that should not be the case, but it has been. Now, you mentioned Worthy, and he may, it's just a might. I would be surprised if he does, but he might suit up for the game on Sunday night against the New York Giants. It was revealed yesterday that not only did he have that dislocated shoulder, we talked about this. You don't just dislocate your shoulder. You tear a lot of tissue in your shoulder, and he tore his labrum. Now, the labrum is a protective level of cartilage, and it's painful. But they fitted him with a brace. I think it's dangerous to put him in there, but the doctors run the show. They know what they're doing. So it could be he has been practicing, light practices with the ball club itself. He's suiting up. But it could be that Worthy might see a couple of plays on Sunday at MetLife Stadium in New York, but that's a maybe.
I'm really interested to see what happens. I hope it doesn't cause him any issues down the road.
That's what you're worried about.
As recently as a couple years ago, Kittle, he played almost a year or two with that labrum torn. So, Ned, you have a wonderful Wednesday, and I'll see you tomorrow.